Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Today I want to talk about the most recent chapter of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, which is chapter 37. And I have to say, I am very impressed with this manga now. I was not sure at first, but ever since Kara was introduced, and especially since Kawaki was introduced, this manga has just been great. And even the art has improved. Just look at Sasuke in this chapter and compare him to early chapters in the Boruto manga, and you can see a huge difference and a huge improvement. Now, before I actually get into the actual meat of the chapter, I gotta say, I really love how Kawaki is being handled in the manga. I wasn't sure at first. I was afraid that Kawaki was simply going to be Sasuke 2.0, but I'm glad I was wrong. I love how, in the beginning, he couldn't have cared less about Naruto or his family, but slowly over time he's grown to care about him. And he's actually showing genuine concern for Naruto here, willing to give himself up and become a prisoner and basically become the vessel for Jigen if it were to spare Naruto's life, as he doesn't want him involved in him and Jigen's business. But Naruto, being Naruto, you know, defies this and wants to protect everyone in the village, which includes Kawaki. Which, gotta love Naruto's character there. And Jigen, Jigen decides instead of, fighting in Naruto's house, he teleports Naruto to, I guess, his own dimension. Which, I do find this a bit interesting here. So, I find it funny how Jigen transports Naruto to this dimension, and then he's just going to leave him here and go back and take Kawaki, instead of actually fighting him. And I like the look on Naruto's face. It's absolutely priceless, and if it wasn't for Sasuke showing up, he would have been pretty much stranded there. Now, this makes me think of something. You know how Kawaki in the first chapter and the first episode of Boruto says he's going to send Boruto to where he sent the 7th? So, I'm beginning to think that possibly this is where Naruto was sent to. I always had a feeling that they'd probably find a way not to kill Naruto off or imply that he's dead. But in all actuality, I'm actually thinking that this is probably what happened. I'm pretty sure that Kawaki must have trapped him in this dimension, since he pretty much is developing Jigen's powers. So most likely he's going to develop this in the future. So, just a thought. Anyways, to go on to the actual fight between Naruto, Sasuke, and Jigen, I gotta say, Kashin Koji was not joking around when he said that Naruto at his current strength couldn't beat Jigen. Because if Naruto or Sasuke alone fought Jigen, they would be completely screwed. Because of just his abilities that he shows in this chapter. And I gotta say, I'm really happy to see Jigen in action finally. And it doesn't disappoint. I do like, besides his ability with the karma to absorb ninjutsu, he can shrink the rods that he shoots out from his body, and he can shrink them and grow them at will, which can cause lethal damage if, say they hit you, you don't even notice it, and then he expands them and it goes through your heart. And that's it. Not only that, but he can shrink himself, which is really interesting. And definitely a deadly technique. He's essentially like Ant-Man from Marvel. But I gotta say, Jigen, for pretty much the most of this chapter, is pretty much dominating. And not only that, he's also extremely powerful. As he kicks Naruto, and Naruto remarks on how strong he is. And he's able to catch Naruto and Sasuke off guard multiple times. And not only that, he's been kicked around a few times, and despite doing this and shrinking and growing constantly, he's showing no signs of fatigue or really any battle damage. Now, another thing that I was thinking about is, I know a lot of people have been kind of concerned about why Jigen didn't go after Sasuke in chapter 35, when they were both at the Otsutsuki site. And judging by the way Jigen is talking, and the way he's been acting, and saying that Sasuke was getting involved in a feudal fight. He probably didn't see Sasuke as a threat if he knew he was there. And he, even with both Naruto and Sasuke there, he doesn't even seem concerned. He kind of seems to brush it off, and essentially showing that, yeah, they're not really much of a threat to him. And that no matter what they can do, in his mind, he's confident that they're no match for him. And I think that I'm actually beginning to think that Jigen may actually be stronger than Momoshiki, judging by what I'm seeing here. And just his, not even at his full strength, he was pretty much had Naruto and Sasuke on a solid run for their money. And when Naruto faced Momoshiki, he already had like 50% of his chakra drained. And Sasuke himself was tired from teleporting everyone. So, and then here we have Naruto and Sasuke able to go all out. Naruto's at 100% and Sasuke might be a little bit tired because he's been transporting himself around. But Naruto's at 100%, and even then they are struggling against Jigen. And that's crazy. Now, before I go any further, I just want to talk about the moment with Sarada and Kawaki, where Kawaki himself, after seeing Naruto be teleported away, he looks very depressed, and I like how Sarada shows up, notices Kawaki, and we also see Boruto and Mitsuki, who look like they're almost at their house, or Boruto's house. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the next chapter, because we don't see Kashin Koji here, but I can see that's all of them showing up, and probably with Shikadai and Inogen following as well. We're probably going to be seeing some interesting dialogue happening here, and probably Kashin Koji is going to make himself known, probably in the next chapter or two. Now, going back to the Naruto Sasuke versus Jigen battle, I do like that Naruto and Sasuke, after a while, figure out Jigen's technique, and it's mainly Sasuke that figures it out through his Sharingan. And I like how, after a while, after they've deduced it, in order to avoid one of the rods one time, Naruto produces a giant Rasengan and absorbs the rods, and then uses it again on Jigen, and despite being microscopic, or not being able to be seen, he can absorb the giant Rasengan despite being short. But that was actually something that they had planned to do, because now they knew where Jigen was at, and Sasuke, actually, from what I can see, with his sword, he would have probably killed Jigen had Jigen not gotten out of there at the last second. He barely avoided death, because being that small and being hit by that sword would have decimated him. But he managed to get away, and that's when Jigen seems to be getting serious as he manifests that horn from his head, and it looks more like that Otsutsuki that was in that was shown in chapter 35 in the mural. And that's where the chapter ends. And I gotta say, with that whole like Otsutsuki thing, it's kind of starting to remind me of the curse mark and how it goes to the second stage. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of like a callback to that. But yeah, I see the next chapter being really crazy with Jigen actually going all out now. So yeah, that was the chapter. Now, overall, I'd say this was a fantastic chapter. It definitely shows off that Jigen is a force to be reckoned with, and not just that. Like, he wasn't even like going all out here, and it's crazy to see that Naruto and Sasuke were struggling this much. So it definitely adds a lot of tension. I'm definitely excited for the next chapter. I will say that I do think the pacing has been going a bit fast lately. It seemed like it was going slow for a little bit, but ever since this year started, it seems like the pace has just gone like crazy. But I don't mind, because this is a pretty awesome material that we're looking at, and I'm curious how they're going to handle this battle as well as the whole Konoha versus Kara situation. I do find this all intriguing. Now, I predict for the next chapter, I do think that Jigen is going to dominate in the next episode, and I think it's going to be a split episode between this battle, and then we're probably going to go over to Boruto arriving at his house, and there's going to be, like I said, interesting dialogue between him, Kawaki, Sarada, probably Inogen and Shikadai, and Kawaki's gonna break the news that, yeah, Naruto's been taken away, and then I do think at some point, maybe not in the next chapter, but in the upcoming chapters, I think that Boruto's Jogan will probably activate, and maybe that will take him to the dimension, but we'll see. But I do expect Kashin Koji to make an appearance in the next chapter, and possibly the other members of Kara, since we don't know what they're capable of yet, and then it'd be nice to see what they can do. So we might be seeing them next. They might be coming for Kawaki themselves, while Jigen is battling Naruto and Sasuke, so I guess we'll see what's happening there. But I guess another thing is I'm beginning to wonder if Sasuke may actually be dying soon. Maybe not in the next chapter, but maybe this arc we might be seeing a potential death here. And there's been a lot of foreshadowing, like in chapter 35, in which Sasuke went to the Otsutsuki site, and Shikamaru and Sai described it as like a trap. Then we had Sakura buying flowers for Sasuke coming home in chapter 36, and then we have Sarada taking the flowers while she's on her way to Naruto's home. So it's kind of foreshadowing someone dying. So I don't really want Sasuke to die yet. I kind of would like him to train Boruto more, and maybe after this arc we get a time skip and that he gets some training. But you never know. They could throw a curveball, and I guess we'll see how they handle it. So yeah, I have to give this chapter a solid 9.5 out of 10. Another great chapter, and I look forward to chapter 38. And that's all I have for this video. So guys, what did you think of the chapter? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me your favorite thing about it in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And I plan on covering the Boruto manga in the future. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for next month. Anyways, this is Mitchell Mander signing off, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.